hide and seek. Prepare to be caught. Here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Hiding on the playground. No one dares to make a sound. Round and round and round and round. No one wants to be first found.
Oh, good morning to everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well. And I just want to tell you that I am so impressed with True Crime Buff right now. I mean, I've liked her stuff all along, but her boots on the ground, hello, amazing. And this one right here, all of them are great, but this one right here has me doing flips because what a wonderful boots on the ground this was. Yes, I had to rhyme that one. This is freaking crazy. This part is crazy because no one has mentioned this particular little area and the covert possibilities that come from it. Is this why we haven't been told? Why we haven't seen it? There's been other boots on the ground too, I will say, and they have not even showed us this part. This is totally, oh my God, blows my mind because you guys know me. I have lived, I swear, in that Lindow Lane footage myself because I've seen it so many times. I would wake up dreaming it. It's like I was there. And this one part has always bothered me. Several of the parts, they all bother me, but I mean, the part, it's around the 4 o'clock mark. And if you're, say, picture yourself the camera, all right? And I want you, the camera, to look to the left, which is where the Twinkies, which I call them, the long the long Queen Road apartment buildings, right? You're going to be looking in that direction. Now, in between these two buildings, there is a walkway in the middle of them, and it's up at the second floor level. Now, the thing about this apartment place is you kind of think there's only like 2 floors. Well, there's 3, because there's apartment that you enter from the other side of the road on the other side, not in between these two buildings. It's on the outside road side, if you get what I mean. And so that always eluded me. Like I knew there was something else there, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't tell because I couldn't see it. We can't see it. So in the Lindow Lane footage, you're looking over there to the left, and all the way to the upper, like say the upper left-hand corner. That would be where the walkway is, where the two long apartment buildings are. And if we're looking straight out, beyond like the Lindow Lane parking lot that's beyond the 2 SUVs in the car, there's a fence, and then as the fence goes around towards the Queen apartment buildings, the 2 long ones, there's a barrier, a cement barrier. And so when you're looking at this footage, you think you're looking at like the walkway or what's happening on this walkway by these buildings, but there's that cement barrier. You're really not seeing a whole lot because that cement barrier is blocking your view, our view. And so there's always this part in about 4 o'clock hour where that upper left-hand area was super busy, and it sounded like 2 guys and a girl to me. And they were moving about, and they were moving what looked to be the very last apartment building on the upper floor and the second floor. But there was something else there that I just couldn't put my freaking finger on. Well, now I know. Now I know. Thanks to Girl, True Crime Buff, ma'am. Thank you so much. You and your sidekick, thank you very, very much. This is so important. Because there was so much movement through there. And what it looked like to me, it looked like those apartments right there, or that last section, the very end of that apartment building, that there was movement, like they were moving something. And they were moving it back and forth from that end of that apartment building to a car in the parking lot of Queen Road, which was straight out in front of us. But, I mean, the car was closest to them, so it would be more like to the left, of the parking lot. And you can hear them talking. The movement, you see the lights, you see a lot, and so this right here, man, this was such a relief to see this, because it made my mind connect with what I was seeing in, like, lack of better words, real time. And it was just such a relief to know that was there, because that's what it felt like all along. I kept thinking, what's underneath there? And I couldn't see it. Like, all the boots on the ground, they didn't take you to that level. You could see something was down there, but you didn't really quite know what it was. Well, guess what? We're going to take a little look at it right now. And I hope you don't mind me using your video. I'm going to give you kudos for this every step of the way. I'm going to link your videos in here. You guys, she's got a ton of them that she just did. She's right there. She's showing you everything. You got to go look, because it's important. And I hope that Anne, I hope her whole team, I hope they just marathon her videos, because seeing this is literally, you just want to, that commercial where someone takes their palm in their hands and they're like, oh, I could have had a V8. That's how I feel. Oh my God, of course. I'm just smacking my head as I'm doing this. Can you hear me? I am so animated this morning because I had other videos. I've got 3 videos already loaded up, but I have not put them on public yet, because I put those videos up what I did so I could make this video. And this video is the one that is so important amongst all of her other ones, because I'm going to do, if she allows me to connect these with what I feel is important that we all know. So much so, God. Again, thank you so much. Please go check out her stuff. Subscribe, like, comment, share it. Get it out there, because it needs to be gotten out there. People need to see this. Okay. A while ago, I did a video where the luminol, you could tell the guys were looking at the luminol, right? And it looked like it was where the wrought iron is. So picture this. Well, you know what? I'm just going to let her show you. So here we go.
During my recent trip to Moscow, Idaho, I made some discoveries that I want to share with you guys. In this video, I want to share with you when I went over by the Queen Road apartments, where they did the luminol test, and I believe this could be the possible escape route that the perp or perps used. It's not technically a tunnel, but I'm going to share with you, and then you guys decide what you think. But I see why they did a luminol test there, because this is the perfect escape route. Okay, let me start over. Okay, so here we are. There's the house. You're coming up. This was seen on the news footage. This is the Queen Apartments. This isn't like a tunnel, but this is underneath the first floor. There's the first floor of the balcony. Look. This isn't like a tunnel, but look. I mean, this is taller than me. Look. You could see the Queen Road house from here. Look at this.
You guys, this blows my mind. Think about this. Think about in the Lindow Lane footage where you hear this guy, and he does it at least 3 times, I think, where you hear quiet, and then all of a sudden you hear boo. Was he down underneath here when people were walking up above, and was he trying to scare them or jumping out of them? jumping out at them? Because it's at crazy times when this was happening, right? Was that the person? Whose voice was that? I made a video. It sounded like pain to me, but I don't, that's just pure speculation. I'm not saying that at all because there's so many. I mean, I've changed my mind so many times. I definitely have my real thoughts on this that I just have never changed, have never, ever changed. But this part right here, what has kept the locals so quiet about this little trip right through here? Come on, this right here? Look at that. And see all the way to the end of that tunnel, I'm going to call it a tunnel, all the way to the very end where you see that arrow because I paused it. That's the pause, TikTok pause button. All the way. Look how long that is, all the way down there. That light at the end of the tunnel. Well, that is right where all that movement has been. Yeah, I do believe she's right. And I've thought this for quite some time. I just didn't know. I couldn't see it. I didn't know how to explain it. And now it's there. Oh my God, this is so important. So important. And how the heck did people in these bottom apartments right there? Well, how could they live there anyway? Imagine how dark their apartments are, but that's a whole nother thing. But how did they not hear anything? Jeremy, how did you not hear anything? You have a dog. Was that your dog barking? Didn't you check to see why your dog was barking? I got questions for you, brother.
I mean, technically speaking, this is not like a tunnel, but look at this. But if I didn't want to be detected and I was a perp, would I go through the street? No, I wouldn't. I would go down here. Look. There's the apartment next door. Look how far away you are.
Sorry, you guys, there's construction going on across the street for me, so sorry it's going to be there in this video. But you know what? You know how covert this whole apartment thing is? And here's another thing I want to say. So in my footage of where I'm showing you like that map where the Moyes are and where the Queen Road, the owner, how much they own, where the lines are for the property of ownership. Well, Queen Apartments, they own the Queen Road as well. Like the road is like they own it, which is, you don't see that very much. I mean, it's usually the city or something like that owns it, but no, this apartment building owns that Queen Road. And I find that really interesting. They also own the parking lot behind the King Road house. They also own that whole big old chunk. These guys owns the apartment building now, right? Now, that owner at the time has now sold. This is not owned by the same people anymore. They sold that, just like the King LLCs are sold. Boo, you wonder why? I'll tell you why. Well, these will tell you why. In your brain, the things that have happened since then and that are continuing to happen should tell you why. And it's just... So with that said, I'm going to explain this. So you've got this little area here that looks like this tunnel, right? And where she popped in at this tunnel at normally is blocked by a bush there, and you don't see it. What you do see is where she's standing here, if you just a little to your right, those are where those steps are that you can go up, and you'll be walking on that upper level, which is like the second floor level. And from that level, looking over to the left to see down here with other boots on the ground, you couldn't tell what this was down here. I thought maybe it was like a drainage because of the way the road is, maybe the water, something for the water to go, which I'm sure it probably goes down here too. Probably a mess in the wintertime. A mess. And which also brings you to this mess. So, I mean, can you imagine what a mess that house would have been? So that's a whole nother thing to think about. So, but this long tunnel-like stretch pops out right to the end of the right in between. You can see Queen, like you pop out Queen or Queen, a King. The King house is right in front of you. There's just a road in between the two of you, and then just slightly to your right is the long Queen Road that goes to King Road. So what's under that Queen Road, that long stretch of Queen Road? Is that part of the tunnel system right there? Because it looks basically like this, and I wonder if it's even the same length. I don't know how to do that, but the measurements of this length of this overlaid to what the road would, the Queen Road, to like where it turns, well, up to the apartment, I guess, and then you could do it both ways, or to where the Queen turns, you know, when you're coming up King to Queen, then you'll be driving and taking a right, which would take you past the house, which would take you visually right here. I'm curious if that stretch is the same length as this is right here. Because in my brain it works, right? It might not work in real life, but in my brain this is working. And my brain needs to know. Inquiring mind needs to know. Okay, here we go.
Shit. Look at this. And there are no cameras down here. I don't see any cameras. I mean, if this doesn't pass for a tunnel, what does? I mean, this is almost like a tunnel without it being a tunnel. Look, this is the other side of where the parking lot is. Look how high that hill is.
Speaking of that hill, I got another video coming for you that is just crazy. Now this hill, as we're looking at it right now, to the right of us, our right, is where the Moyer's house is on the hill. You just have to go past the Queen Road, the back parking lot, and then up to your left, up behind the King house, that's where the Moyer's house is, right? And I showed you the photo that when I did the map on there, there's also an address 701 connected to their address on that house. But when you look up 701, first of all, it doesn't say what it belongs to. Like, you don't know what road it belongs to. So my thoughts were Queen Road, that it had to be part of Queen Road. So I just typed in 701 Queen Road into the little, little box there. And you know where it brought me? It brought me right to 1260 Willenta Drive, as they are one and the same address. So what the hell is 701 Queen Road? If you're looking at an aerial view of the map, you see their house, and then there's a lighter, brighter kind of color of blue, or whatever color it is, right below that, or up. It's hard to explain. You have to look at the, I'll try to make a more detailed video of it, or bigger, zoomed in or whatever. But it looks to be something under there. Like I'm wondering, is there something under this hill? Is there a bunker under here? That's what it looks like to me. And I keep picturing like a train car, like an old, those big long train cars, as being part of this bunker for some reason. I don't know why I'm picturing that. I have no clue. Nothing's showed me on anything like this why I would think that. It's just what I'm visualizing. So if you're looking at on the roadside, and you're up on the road, and you do the Google of the 701, it brings you in front of their house, but just a little further up towards Linda Lane, where their hill begins, where that big mound like this right here begins, this mound we're looking at right now. And when you see that, literally the whole area is blocked out way up to the tree line. And so what are they blocking out there? What do they not want us to see right there? I don't get it. What is that? They don't block out their house, but they certainly do block out what's next to it, which pops up as a 701 address, which is 1260 Glenta Drive. Unbelievable. I will definitely show a picture of that.
Is that a camera? No.
There's a little lens.
Look. During my recent trip.
So when she just panned at the very end to the right, and you saw the other apartment building that was right next to this one, that end area on that floor that you could see is the laundry room. That is the laundry room for the Queen Road apartment buildings. Okay. What do you guys think? Are you mind blown? Boom. Crazy in your head right now? Because I'm telling you what, this one blows my mind. Thank you so much. And I'm going to see if I can find a picture of the blocking on that's 701. Still, I'm just wondering, how can they connect these two addresses together? Don't get it. Thank you so much again. I hope you don't mind I'm using this. I really wanted to get this out there. And, although you've got a great following, just getting it out there, people sharing it is going to make it, it's going to cause a ripple effect. That's what it's going to do. All right, so give me a moment. I'm going to try to find that picture of the hill. Okay, so here is the property line of what is owned with the Queen apartment. So that means that the other Queen apartment, the smaller one, is not owned by the same person here. I'm going to have to look it up to make sure that it's not the same owners, but I'm pretty sure it's not. So this is one of the latest ones that I did when I looked up these addresses. Now it says 701 Queen Road on the top of it, but what my cursor, when I move it on this app, I put it over top of the Queen Road apartment buildings. So you can see here that long stretch I'm talking about, Queen Road right there. It looks to be really the same length as what it is in between those two buildings. And it's interesting because that one building's longer than the other. Do you notice that? The one Queen Road? So one Twinkie doesn't have as much filling in it, so to speak. But see where the Walkway Park tag mark is? That is at 1122 King Road. And this just popped up. Like this is that right there. Oh my God, that one just blows my mind still. I can't even believe that's there. And I've never seen tags on any of these things. Whenever I've done these on this particular app, I've never seen that before. I've never seen tags on it, and I've never seen anything in green where it's put it in there in the green, Walkway Park in green. That's just weird. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go find the Moye one. But basically, where the Moye one is you see at the bottom where you've got there's a plus sign at the bottom where the Queen Road. That's where the back parking lot is, and that little plus sign on the road. And if you look to the point at the very furthest to the bottom there of red, that next to the left, that next it says RP. Well, they all say RP, but it almost looks like maybe that's why I'm thinking that looks like a train car. Because look at the way it curves down. It looks like a train moving around a bend. Well, that's weird. I know it's the road and everything, and I know that's the parking lot right there, but it just, I don't know. So if you're looking at that right there, you see where there's the house right here, the two longer houses, and then the trees in the front. But there's another color down underneath there, and that's where it shows up as being 701. Now, I didn't zoom it in far enough on this one so you would show the 701 on there. But what's really weird about that, too, is that it doesn't show 1260 on there. It shows 701. I don't know. It makes no sense to me, and I don't get it. But something's really wrong there. Something's really weird. And so where it's blocking off all of that, what I want to show you, and I don't know if I took a screenshot of it or not, but so that the chunk on the property, that 1260, is the front section where there's a skinny section down below towards the bottom of the picture here. Right there in that very pointed corner is where that blocked off area was. And it was massive. I mean, it was blocked off crazy a lot. I mean, it was weird. And it, I don't know. I got to go find that for you guys. Okay, so Back down. Pause again. Okay, here you see it. Okay, I guess that's, I'm going to block off the name on there. But underneath the RPM stuff, you do see 1260 as the address right there. But look down a little bit further down the hill and look where it says 701. What is 701? There's no, it shows it's an address, but when you put it in this app, this is what pops up. It pops up 1260 Walenta. And it never did this before. And I've looked at this app, you know, I'm on it all the time. And it never showed this before. That 701 part never did. And it certainly didn't show Wawaway Park at 1122 King Road. That right there, just, I mean, the gall. This is an app you buy. You pay for this app, right? You can get some days for free. Like when you first get on this app, like any of you guys can go get on this app. It's called Land Glide. And if you go on this, you get like the first 7 days free. And they don't, and you can just use it for 7 days. They don't do that thing where they make you, you know, give a credit card and all that kind of stuff. No, you get to use it for 7 days. And then when you try to use it on the 8th day, you have to pay. So it's really kind of, and it's actually, this is actually a fun app. I mean, I really have, because you can look up all sorts of things all over the world. It is a blast, actually. So, yeah, I get kind of lost in it sometimes, obviously, because you can just look at so much. Because once you're on this app, and you've got the below information, you can scroll up from there and you can see what the property, you know, what the land's worth, what the property's worth, what zone it's in, the school, the district, I mean, the county. And then you go all the way to the bottom, and it might be a different address. It might be the same address. This one has the same address because it says owner occupied, and then it's their names, you know, it's the same as it is right here. So, but most times it is not like that. You get another address, and when you pop that other address in, it takes you somewhere else, and that could be owner occupied or not. That next address will take you somewhere else. Pretty soon, you've gone to so many addresses, and you've followed this road, and it's linking all these places, and you can find. I mean, and it tells you who owns these things. I'll tell you one that's really interesting is when I did the fraternities and the sororities, and I haven't made that video yet. But who owns those? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That one is interesting. They're all interesting, but that one's pretty interesting. Okay. I'm going to still see if I can find that picture. Okay, you guys. So right here, see where the location arrow is? Location dot or whatever you want to call it. It's at the very end of at the Queen Road parking lot. And that is exactly where it shows at 1260 Walenta, because Walenta is right there. That's where that 1260 is. So if you go here, you see how it's blocked off right there. You see that big old blob right there? Well, if you just come down to the bottom left corner, that's right there. That is the 1260 Walenta. So this particular blocked off area is literally looking over, directly over to the left, furthest left, our left side of the Queen Road apartment parking lot. Crazy. I don't know what all this stuff means on here, but let's see if it takes us. Oh, here we go. Here's what I was looking for. So there you go. And see, look at the addresses. Is that blowing your mind? Like it's blowing mine? Because this is 701 Queen Road. Was this Queen Road to begin with? And they added it to Walenta? Because it's really the only house on that hill right there. It's the only house. And if you look at the historical photos of this, which was, I think it's on one of my videos, it's recent ones, and it is 2015 or 17. I can't remember exactly which one, but it looks totally different. Like the hill, the shape, everything looks totally different. It's really bizarre. But wait till you see this. Look at this. What is that? You know, my first thought when I saw this was a tree house. I thought it was a freaking hidden tree house. That's what it felt like. And then it went to cameras and all that other kind of stuff. Because there's a tree right back there. There's these big trees, right? And look at the branches on the top of that roof. But look at how thick they blocked this off. Look at this angle of it. Look at how thick that is on that end. It almost looks like a slab of wood, the raw edge wood that they have out now. And look at these lines, these wires that are going through. Now this is interesting too. So I also noticed this. So look at how many wires are going through here. That's a lot of wires. There's 1, 2, 3. And then when you get down here, let me see if I can find it. It almost looks like there's cables going through on the ground down here. Now I know that's a branch. And where did I see it? I know I saw it here. Well, what's that? Ooh. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. Why does it look like mesh? Okay. I've recently, I don't know if I put this video up yet. It talks about the effect of a fishbowl. And I looked up all this information on the fishbowl and how it would affect like your connection to, Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that they said that affects it is wire mesh. Now that looks like it's a chain link fence, does it not? What is back there? Now, making tunnels and stuff, and like helping with the walls so they don't cave in. What do they use? They use like chain link fence, wire mesh. It keeps the dirt where it's supposed to be. It doesn't allow it to fall. What? This makes me feel like, where's this fence go all to? Right up here. See, get this, you guys. Right up here to the end of Valenta. Look how close it is to the end of the road, where you will continue to go up here, around here, and here, and it turns into, there's Valenta, and it turns into Ridge Road, right? So if you go and do a little corner turn here, and I'm going to put it in the middle of the screen. If you're looking directly in the middle of the screen, you see what looks to be this right here, right? Those little handrails right there. Those handrails are attached to a very long, very well made staircase system that goes all the way down to, I forget which road it ends up on, and I'm going to make a whole video on that. But the one house that is directly at the very bottom of this staircase on the left-hand side is Shetland Court, which is owned by Bailey, by Paul Bailey. And yes, it's still owner-occupied. But it's at the very bottom of the staircase. Isn't that crazy? Okay, I'm getting this video out there because I could go on and on and on and on about this because I've got so much to show you. But that staircase goes all the way down. And it's well built. It's a nice one too. Let's go back here. Let's look at it at this angle. That seriously? Look at that. Right back there. That seriously could be a platform. That could be a treehouse. That could be a lookout tower. Look it up there. And I know this foliage, and I know you can read stuff into this kind of stuff. But see, I have a brother who, on his property, has tree forts everywhere. And you don't see them. I mean, one of them's got a bench up there. It's got a huge, one of them's got a long truck car seat in it you can sit up on. You don't see them until you look up and you really look for them. And that's what made me believe this right in the very beginning. I'm like, that is a freaking fort. That's a tree fort, man. Now, the trees are pretty dense right through there compared to the other ones down here, correct? And it shows, see, look at this. There's something, there's that red-orange dot right there. What is this? I'm really curious. I'm really, really, really curious. And look, there's like a little opening, like a little pathway right there. Look at that. What the hell? Look at that. That looks like, this right here looks like what the opening is to the thing that Seagirl just showed us around the entrance to the I'm going to call it a tunnel underneath the Queen Steps. I'm at a loss for words right now after I saw this. I'm like, whoa, this looks like it was put there. Look at this. What in the world? Look, it almost looks like there's someone peeking out back there. Doesn't it look like a face? Ah! Oh my God. Oh, it looks like two faces. Oh my God, that's creepy. Am I the only one creeped out by this? Please tell me not. Oh, man. Whoa. Man. Yeah, I'm a little creeped out. What's up there? What is that? That is a fence. So that must be the house up above. So there's a house on the... Wait. It must be on the other side. So it must be on Ridge... On the other side of this Walenta Drive. Oh, man, I'm confused now. I need a real map to look at. Like one that I can put inside... My hands can touch, right? The paper. That's what I want. But it won't show stuff like this. So... But that's... that's a little odd looking to me. All right, there comes the video. Let's go down here again, turn around, and look, it's blocked off. There's a mile post. There's a mile post right there. See that metal post? That is there to indicate something. See, it's right next to where that opening is right there. That's not just a post. That's a piece of that's bigger than a post. Just a post. Okay, now I'm just kind of freaking out a little bit. So that goes, okay, so that's where the fence, okay, that's part of where the fence starts. Well, that's 701 right there. It says 1271 Walenta. This right here is when I put in the 7, well, oh, it's not going to show me now. Is it going to show me? Okay. And lo and behold, there's a black truck. There is her vehicle right there. Which this new color, this gray, is kind of gross to me. I don't like that color. Sorry if you guys own that color, but that color is so... The color, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the days when I was younger, when my dad was a Forest Service, and you had that green color Forest Service car. Now I liked that color. I still like that color. But of the other color that was like kind of a yellowish or tan, it was like a tan kind of color, and the paint on it, the shade of it, that reminds me of this. This reminds me of a government car, the color of it. And then in front of that government car is a Jeep. That's Tyson's Jeep. That window's flung all the way open too. That'd be easy to crawl up in that window. Look at that. Look close to just, look how far from the ground it is. Not very far. A little cinder block would help. Oh, I know where you can get one of those. Right on down the hill, right in front of Dylan's window. Matt and Dylan are good buddies. You guys know that? Okay. There you have it. All right, gonna get this up. Love you guys. Hug yourself for me. I'm sending you hugs. Have a beautiful day.